The script that will be discussed in this video can be found on the GitHub repository. You can reach that by going to our lab website, tsg-lab.org, and clicking on the LCPC transform page. The script will be in this link here, post-processing tools. When you click on it, it opens up a GitHub repository. This is the folder that contains the script we were talking about. You can click on this green button and click download zip, which will download everything here. But if you only want this folder, then you can click on it and you can copy the link of this page. And then you can go to this website called downgit.github.io. And if you paste in the link and click download, it will download only this folder to your computer. All right, in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to run this script that does PCA on data produced by the LCPC transform. So this script is available on GitHub, which also includes this practice file called LCPC data for practicing. And I've also included in the GitHub repository example outputs that this script will create based on this input file, so that after you run it, you can compare yours with mine. In fact, I'm going to put the word example here so you know which one is yours and which one is mine. So this script is written to work specifically with data that's produced by the LCPC transform. And it does median standardization of the data before doing PCA, because the results of the LCPC has a wide range of values, which might be misinterpreted as being outliers, which would be erroneous because that wide range of values is inherent to data produced by the fast Fourier transform, which is the last step of the LCPC transform. So this script, when you run it, it will produce two CSV files. The first one will have the suffix first three PC values in it. The second one will have the suffix loadingplotdata.csv in it. And this script will also print three graphs that you can copy and paste or click and drag onto a slideshow software. To begin, the format of the data must be similar to what you see here. The first column is the bin order, and every sample is a column thereafter. Again, this script was meant to be used on LCPC data, so that data naturally is formatted like this. First and foremost, you want to load this cell, which contains the dependencies, to make sure that you have all the packages you need. Otherwise, you'll need to install it. And all you have to do is paste in the file path to the input folder. So on a Mac, so this would be the input folder. I would right click it, and then I would hold down Option to reveal this choice right here, path name. You copy that, and then you paste it in here within the quotation marks, and make sure it's only one set of quotation marks. And then here you need to paste in the name of the CSV file that is in your practice file here. So instead of typing it out, I just go into editing mode. You can right click and then rename, and then you can copy. But make sure when you type in .csv also right here. Okay, once you've pasted in these two pieces of information, you can just run this cell. And here it prints out the first 5 rows of your data table so that you know that you've loaded the right file. Once this is done, you can just click Run All. Now this is Visual Studio Code. Here's a button called Run All. So you click it, it'll run. If you are in Jupyter Notebook, first you would run this cell. I click in here to activate it, and then I click this play button. It loads. I have all my libraries. Next, I paste in the information needed, the file path to the folder, and the name of the exact file in the folder I want to load. And I click in this cell, I click Run, and it has loaded. And to run everything else, I go to this Run option, and I just click Run All Cells, and it will run all cells. There you go. Back to Jupyter Notebook, we've ran everything. So now we can scroll down to the interesting parts. Okay, so here is the first graph that you can copy and paste, or you can right click and copy, or you can just click and drag onto, say, a PowerPoint. And this is a 3D dot plot. It's not a very good one, which is why I didn't put much effort into color coding things. What's important is actually that it has printed out a file in your working directory. Right, this file is called first 3 PC values, and the reason I had it print this or save this file is so that you can now recreate this 3D dot plot in a separate script or software that allows you to interact with the graph interactively, meaning zoom in, zoom out, and change the color code, things like that. I have a separate script that will load this data in the interactive 3D dot plot, but that is a separate video. That is the crude 3D dot plot from this data, which has been saved on your computer, so you can graph it somewhere else. Let's go to the next plot. So this is the scree plot here, telling you what the variances are for each of the principal components. Again, you can copy and paste or click and drag this graph in order to save it. Next, this script creates a biplot of the first 2 PCs. And here is the biplot. You have a 2D dot plot and the loading plot arrows. But often the arrows are very short, which is why I had a separate block of code that prints only the loading plot, that is the arrow. So here you can see which arrows, and they are named. These are the bins, bin 37, bin 41, bin 42, bin 44. Not only that, this last block of code saves the loading plot information, the information with which this plot was created. It saves that as a CSV file, and here it is. It's called loading _ plot _ data in the suffix. And I had the script save this so that you can analyze it in more detail in a separate script that I will provide. And that script allows you to zoom in and zoom out to see each of these arrows more clearly, because as you can see here, there is a lot of clutter. And sometimes you want to get an image only specific features. That's it. In summary, once you run this script, it will produce 2 CSV files and 3 graphs that you can copy and paste.